shadow bears a reputation, doubtful, undefined. It's feared, concealed, condemned, and declared enemy of mind. To stand within a shadow, shame a weakness to confess. To cast one is a scandal, sometimes a sentence without evidence. The inner shadow's taught to be restrained and locked away, forced down into the depths of soul where hidden fragments stay. Cast down in cemetery where lie the buried quiet ones and maybes die. Beneath the weight of one engraved decree, you are absolutely not allowed to be. And herewith the sentence falls on self unwillingly. An endless inner conflict, never reconciled. To step into the light, yet leave no shade behind. How to be open, honest, truthful, uncontrived, and not fall from the heights by others' walls defined. Yet light without a shadow is unfeasible, becoming subtle cage. The perfect image is a polished prison set upon the stage. No shadow follows where vampires tread, for living light would strike their nature dead. Yet endless years within the dark confine, and slowly gnawing trouble even them in time. And so a quiet question must remain: is one alive at all who hides the shadow then? Without the light, no image can be seen. Without the shadow, nothing whole has been. And cast away in banishment, the shadow only grows until it takes the light it once opposed. What's pushed aside begins to rule unseen, direct. A private silent governance, a quiet tete-a-tete. What seemed to be controlled for years and years breaks through behind the scenes. It knocks from cellars deep in sleepless night, demanding freedom, air, and light. It seeps through actions guided by unfamiliar hands. It slips through speech, escapes in sharp commands, reshapes the tongue, distorts the path and will, until the self grows distant, fractured still. What if we cast out not the shadow, but the way of judging through the needless others' fear and frame? And just invite the shadow softly for a while, not to a cage or shame, not to control or trial, but into daylight, scorching noon and blazing heat, where shadow is relief to stay alive complete. It's not a darkness nor an abyss or a void. It's not a depthless trap or evil place to be destroyed, but it's a shield from burning, searing flame, from wounds and pain, a guard of boundaries and a real inner will to name. It is the depth where wisdom's born, and courage starts to rise, to see within, to appreciate, embrace, and recognize the fragile core inside, source of a real strength denied. It does not ask for spoken praise, nor faith declared aloud. It softly whispers, light and dark, one living whole and bound. And if no longer lock it up, nor force it into shame, or no, nor bind in chains of guilt and silent woe, the shadow turns to steady, faithful hands that hold you firm where once you couldn't stand, where you could fall too low. To fight your shadow is no strength, but wasted force in endless strife. For shadow stands as proof, both clear and true. The light is still alive inside of you.